Hey, we're back in the topic again today with yet another type to go back over. Back in week 23, we looked at a very bitter cold type. It's been a long time since that video, but I did say I'd go over every type and see what Pokemon Sun and Moon improved or made worse about each type, while also going over what I said to see if any of those ideas made sense or went through. With that, let's coldly go where no person has gone before, as we look at the Ice type. The fifth type we looked at from over a year ago. First up, we'll see what Sun and Moon added to the Ice type, and then check back up with the previous video. Of course, in order, we'll talk about the new Pokemon and moves first. With that, we actually didn't get that many new Ice types, unfortunately. For new Pokemon, we got the Crabominable line, which is pretty underwhelming. Although it does have a unique typing of Ice and Fighting, but that speed, with such a non-defensive typing of Ice, it's going to have to take a lot to do well in battle. Not unless you're under Trick Room, of course. The main event for the new types, however, is the Alolan Sandslash and Alolan Ninetales lines. Both of which are originally from Kanto, but made the transitions due to the effects of Alola. They also go really well together, but, you know, we'll get to that later. For the new moves that the Ice types brought to the Freezer, we actually have doubled the new moves that we got from Generation 6. Oh, okay, so we only got one new move last generation, so we only have two this time. I mean, hey, I didn't lie, did I? Anyway, we'll start off with Aurora Veil, which is a super clutch ability and makes Ice types have a defensive niche. Basically, it's a move used that combines Reflect and Light Screen, but there is a catch. It must be hailing at the moment you use it. The next move I haven't actually seen in battle at all, probably because only Crabominable can get it. It's none other than Ice Hammer, which hits for 100 base damage, but lowers speed. In other words, it's the Ice-type Hammer Arm. Of course, we also have the Z move Sub-Zero Slammer, but that's a special moves, but I did want to mention it though. As with previous generations, old Pokemon got updates to abilities, stats, and new moves, so let's go over them right now. We'll start off with Vanilluxe, as that line now has access to Snow Warning, so give Poise a round of applause. The Beartic line got a second new ability of Slush Rush, making this Pokemon powerful under 2 weather effects. Beartic also got an attack stat increase from 95 to 105. Cryogonal got a huge stat buff, getting increases in HP, 70 to 80, and defense, 30 to 50. Not many changes, unlike the normal type though, but there aren't as many Ice types as normal types, so there's nothing much I can do there. Remember what we said about the Ice type nearly a year ago? No? Well, I don't blame you. I probably would have forgotten by now too. Regardless, if you want to catch up, there's a link to the video in the description below. Now then, at the beginning of the series, I had 10 ways, but later on, I went down to 6, because it was difficult to add in that many improvements. So, older types will have more sections, but in types such as the Ice type, where there were only 6 improvements, we'll have to set things up differently. We'll get to one update now. The first improvement I mentioned was more defensive Ice types, or something that can make them defensive. I suggested for more resistances, but we didn't get any of those. We didn't really get much. However, like I said, the move Aurora Veil can actually help out defensively, so I'll give this one a pass. The next improvement I made was to make Hail more viable. Sand and Rain were at the top of the meta, and Sun to a lesser extent, but Hail was always the butt of the weather jokes. But then we got Slush Rush, an ability that doubles speed in Hail. We also have Aurora Veil, I've said that name so many times, which only works in Hail, but we already went over that, like I just said. Now Hail has a lot more unique advantages other than weather effects that do not. But it's different as Ice types aren't defensive at all. But it's nice to see that we have a fourth option in the weather war. So, remember I mentioned how there's a lack of special Ice type presence? Well, that really wasn't fixed. We got no new special Ice moves, and we got Alola Ninetales, but what move is this going to be using? Most likely Ice Beam. So I'm going to chalk that up to the only loss the Ice type has. I'm going to start keeping track of which ones we got right, to see which types were the best predicted to see how they stack up. So we'll have a chart up soon enough. But right now the Ice type wins over normal type since it has more of a home run on the hail predictions rather than what I suggested for the normal type. So with the Ice type, there were a few type combos missing. Checking out the chart, we were missing the combinations of the Ice type with the normal type, Poison type, the Bug type, the Steel type, the Fire type, the Electric type, the Dragon type, the Fighting type, and the Fairy type. Sun and Moon were very gracious to us as we got to write off 3 combos off this list. Carbonable took the Ice Fighting combo, Ice Steel was picked up by Alolan Sandslash, and Alolan Ninetales grabbed Ice Fairy. And it also made for a great Pokemon. Coldly put, that's all the changes and updates to the Ice type. What changes do you like? What do you dislike? What would you have changed? Am I too cold for you? Let me know in the comment section below. If you did enjoy, don't forget to show your support by dropping a like from the top and subscribing if you want to see more. Let me know what type you want to see next as I am once again going through each type yet again. Except for the next one, as I already have it planned out. I know I said this last time, but that specific one had to be delayed. With that though, I want to thank you for watching, and I'm going to catch you back at the top later on, because that's how we do it!